Hello everyone. So today I'm out here starting to get things ready so we can start planting our summer color down here. You know, these containers that we usually, we change every season, every late spring with summer color. But I am still enjoying so very much what we planted for winter time. These are the winter containers, and I just love all the transformation since we planted them. I think we planted them late fall, and they were still giving something. We had in them we had some of the pansies, and I had some violas, and we'll talk about every plant right now. But I just love how from planting even through winter, covered in snow, where they went through everything and they did amazing. And then here comes early spring, and usually there's nothing around, and these always had some color. There was something going on up here, and that's why I love to plant live containers for that can take us through the whole time, through different seasons. So let's go ahead and get talking a little bit about these plants and what I think about them. So I want to talk about the Hookura. So we grow a lot of proven winter plants. And this time last fall, I remember I went and searched on purpose in nurseries. I wanted to try out other varieties of plants, other brands. I don't know the brand of this Hookura. I just loved the color and went for it. And I knew it was gonna bloom into a pink. And it reminds me a lot of another one we are growing in our garden. I think it's called Black Pearl, and it is from the Proven Winners variety. It started to flower not long ago, but I am noticing the difference, and big time. So we'll go ahead and take some video or picture of the Hookuras we have from Proven Winners that we have on another side of our garden. But what I noticed was how when it came into flower, the flower is very wild looking. I don't know. Ambrose actually called it very lanky. It looks leggy, and a lot of times when I hear a lot of people talking about Hookura. First off, Hookura is a new plant for us. Probably I'm gonna say 3-4 years back that I found out about Hookuras and we started growing them ourselves. So one thing that I kept on hearing a lot about the Hookura was how the flower wasn't that pretty, and a lot of people like to just pinch it off as a flower. And I've only grown the Proven Winners variety, so I always leave it on because I love to see the flower, and I love to see the pollinators, and especially the hummingbirds like it, so I leave it on there. But this time around I saw them, and if y'all can see, they're looking a little crazy. I do love a wild container, but they are looking a little crazy. So you guys let me know, whoever that has been, gardeners that have been growing all sorts of Hookuras, all varieties, from the new ones to the old ones, the old varieties. If that's really why, a lot of times people don't like to see, they don't like the blooms because they expect for something like this to happen. They are in full sun right now. We're starting to get the sun's going down in this area, but we are in a full sun area, so they're not stretching because they need sun. They get all the sun they need. So now let's talk about another plant that, wow, it amazed us very, very much. We have down here Dusty Miller. It does amazing in our zone. At first I thought, if I didn't mention, I'm so sorry, I'm jumping everywhere. We're in zone 7B, Virginia. We're new to Virginia. We've been here a few years, so I didn't know if it was going to be too cold to grow for winter time. Dusty Miller, but Dusty Miller is cold hardy to zone 7, so it's done amazing. It didn't start off like that. It took over, and it actually pushed out the pansies and violas that we had in there. It just did away with them, and I'm okay with that. So it gave another look to the whole container, and I'm enjoying it very much. Like I mentioned, we had pansies and violas in the front, but those are gone because none of the sun was able to hit down there anymore because of this beast of a beautiful plant that we have right there, the Dusty Miller. So it still looks pretty. But if you saw in the beginning of the video, I went around and I cut back the ones that are in the planted behind the violas, which that's all that's left now. We just have violas. Violas are actually, I've noticed they take over our pansies most of the time when we plant them in our garden, and I'm okay with that. That's my favorite flower, viola. And this time around we did all white. I just thought it looked so pretty, something very peaceful and calming. And what y'all got to see me doing on the video was going ahead and cleaning off whatever of the violas that are still good. I have been fertilizing them on times of winter when I noticed the ground the soil wasn't frozen, and they've been fertilized all the way, to spring. I did stop fertilizing them, I'm gonna say 2 weeks ago, because I knew, we're gonna change containers. And I didn't know if I was gonna keep the violas in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep the ones in the back. I decided I was just gonna clean them off, trim them. I'm seeing new growth. We'll move out the containers, probably, put them in a place where it's cooler on a more northern side, where they're still gonna get good sun, the whole container, and see what we can do with this. So then I move on to a beautiful, beautiful juniper. This is called Blue Star Juniper. Blue Star. Isn't that beautiful in blue? The blue is just so pretty, and that's why I wanted this in our container. I knew we were gonna see this no matter what, and we have some blue cypress up there. I think they're called blue fall cypress up there, and that's why I added a little bit of that in here, of that blue, to go with those. Yeah, and they gave us a lot of pretty color, with the nice evergreen. Somebody's passing by, so I'm gonna go ahead and, there we go. I hope that wasn't too loud. Yeah, we enjoyed it very much, having, evergreens. They give winter interest through the whole time, even especially, those snow days that, like, we really had a very bad winter. Not bad, I'm gonna say we enjoyed it very much. We had a lot of snow. So they were covered when we would come and dust off the plants. It just looks so pretty to see the blue juniper just peeking out. So now I'm coming and talking about the main plant that I have here that I love so much. This is Tater Tot Arborvitae. It's one of my favorite types of evergreen to have in our garden. I love Arborvitae because of the smell. It's very soothing. It was one of the first type of evergreens that we ever added in our own little garden. And I always know, I didn't know at first that it had a scent, but I always noticed that every time I walk by them, we actually had them by a porch, so we got to sit by them. There was just something very relaxing about it, and there was a scent that it wasn't strong, but I could smell it. And later on, I found out that it does have a scent, and it's very calming, and that's why I love it so much. Well, Tater Tot, though, is a smaller variety, and it stays compact, it stays round. You don't have to do anything to it. You don't have to shape it, and it just looks perfect every season. This winter, it turned a little bit of, I'm gonna say it had a little bit of a bronze color, but I didn't mind it. It looked really pretty still. It's nice to come out and still see the plants doing something even when there's nothing. It just kept me going through all that time, So that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to come out here and just talk a little bit about how I am still enjoying our winter containers, and it's actually a little bit of a bittersweet thing to go ahead and move them out. We're gonna go on the next video, one of the next videos, we will show what we're planting for summer. I am very excited for summer color, but I gotta say that I am gonna miss having these guys around. We'll see where we put them. Most of the plants will do really well, in the areas, in any area of lighting, so I don't worry about that. So that's really it. I just wanted to go ahead and share this. We don't really do this too much before we start changing out containers, and in case any of y'all, want to plant something that is not just going to be getting changed for every season, this is something good to plant up. This could stay here for another season. It really could, until plants can be moved out to the garden somewhere in another container, bigger container, or they can be placed in the ground somewhere. They can just be enjoyed in so many other ways. So excited to get planting with their summer things, and I will leave you here. I'm gonna continue to clean up the rest of the violas that I have in the back, and go ahead and let us know what do you like to plant for winter that you are still enjoying now that it's getting close to summertime. Bye. There's new growth right there, and that's why I'm gonna leave them, because they're still alive. So I'm just cleaning them up and cutting them back, and then it's important to have them in a place where it's not that hot. This is a southern area, but I'm gonna go ahead and place them in a more shadier area so the violas can actually come back.